Prized won the $2 million Breeders' Cup Turf, the first time he ever ran on the grass.
Prized is surging. Sierra Roberto toward the inside. Bahira late run, a driving finish in the turf, and here's the wire, and it is Prized.
Prized is the only horse in history to win races worth at least $1 million on the dirt and turf the same year.
It's Prized and Charlie Barley in the final 16th. Prized on the outside, Charlie Barley on the inside. Prized is going to win the Molson Export Million.
Prized defeated Horse of the Year and Kentucky Derby winner Sunday Silence at the classic distance of 1.25 miles on the dirt.
It's Sunday Silence. Prized coming after him though with a late run. It's Prized, Sunday Silence, Prized in a major upset.
Prized defeated Breeders' Cup Mile winner Steinland and world record setter Hawkster in Stakes on the Grass.
Hawkster digging down deep and trying to hang on, but here comes Prized in the center of the track. Eddie Dalahousie and Prized are coming to get Hawkster. Prized gets the lead with 50 yards to run, and it's going to be Prized to win the prestigious San Luis Rey Stakes.
Now Prized moves to Kentucky to embark on the latest phase of his stallion career at Bruce Klein's Dixiana Farm in Lexington. After winning his last 2 starts as a 2-year-old by a combined 16.5 lengths at Calder and placing in the Grade 2 Tropical Park Derby in his 3-year-old debut for Meadowbrook Farm, Prized was shipped to California and the barn of trainer Neil Drysdale. In his first start in the colors of his new co-owner Clover Racing Stable, Prized won the 1.8 Bradbury Stakes at Santa Anita. Ironically, the Bradbury was the only stakes race won by his illustrious sire, Chris S.
Prized on the outside. They come for home, and Caro Lover now out there leading it by 2. Pink Eye taps him on the shoulder. He responds gamely. Prized coming after him, and then Exemplary Leader past the 8th pole, and it's Caro Lover on the inside. Prized coming at him on the outside. Caro Lover and Prized, these two coming for the wire. Prized going to get there. Prized to win, going away.
While a pulled stifle kept him out of the 3-year-old classics, Prized vaulted into the national limelight in the summer of his 3-year-old season. It came in the Grade 2 Swap Stakes at Hollywood Park. This 1.25 mile race was supposed to be a coronation for Kentucky Derby and Preakness Stakes winner Sunday Silence, who was the 1-5 favorite. Most of the fans and the track announcer thought this race was over at the top of the stretch, especially when Sunday Silence opened up a 5-length lead. But Prized and Eddie Dalahousie were about to spring a shocker.
Into the far turn, and Sunday Silence has yet to be challenged. Patrick Valenzuela now lets out a notch. He draws clear by 3. Broke the mold second. Prized coming up quickly. He'll be the one to challenge the Kentucky Derby champ with 1/4 mile to come in the Swap Stakes. It's Sunday Silence by 4. Prized is second, broke the mold third, and Endow as they sweep off the turn and come down the lane. He's showing why he's the champion 3-year-old. It's Sunday Silence. Prized coming after him though with a late run. It's Prized, Sunday Silence, Prized in a major upset.
Prized the winner by 3/4 length, becoming the only horse to defeat Sunday Silence at the classic distance of 1.25 miles. Meanwhile, Sunday Silence later added the Breeders' Cup Classic to his long list of accomplishments and was selected Horse of the Year in 1989.
They're off in the Molson Export Million.
Next stop for Prized, however, was Woodbine in Canada for the Molson Export Million. 8 horses entered the starting gate with St. Paul Derby and Arlington Classic winner Clever Trevor, who was coming off a close second-place finish to Easy Gore in the Travers Stakes, the heavy favorite. The top Canadian challengers were Charlie Barley and Damascus Dan. While Damascus Dan shadowed Clever Trevor, jockey Robin Platts aboard Charlie Barley kept Prized and Eddie Dalahousie pinned inside for most of the trip and forced him to check sharply on the final turn. However, Dalahousie got Prized going again on the outside, and he defeated Charlie Barley by 1/2 length after an extremely eventful trip.
Dalahousie looks for him with Prized, and Robin Platts is calling on Charlie Barley. They move to the head of the stretch. It's Damascus Dan, Clever Trevor, Charlie Barley, prized, steered to the outside for clear running. They approach the 8th pole. Charlie Barley emerges with the lead. Prized is coming to him with every stride. It's Prized and Charlie Barley in the final 16th. Prized on the outside, Charlie Barley on the inside. Prized is going to win the Molson Export Million.
The next victory for Prized would come in a $2 million race, this time on the grass. Although he had worked on the turf, Prized had never raced on the grass until he loaded in the gate against 13 of the top runners in the world for the $2 million Breeders' Cup Turf at Gulfstream Park. In perhaps the most competitive and balanced race on the card, the field included champion turf horse Sunshine Forever and such other top U.S.-based runners as El Senor and Caltech, as well as Arc de Triomphe runner-up Bahera. Caltech, winner of the Washington, D.C. International, took the lead at the head of the stretch, but Prized was ready to make his move.
Caltech forges to the front as they turn for home. Hilda Sheepra is put to a full-out drive to try to stay with them. Prized on the outside is now third. Sierra Roberta is coming with her run now, and here she comes. Caltech desperately holding on. Prized is surging. Sierra Roberta toward the inside. Bahera late run, a driving finish in the turf, and here's the wire, and it is Prized. A desperate nose.
Prized ran the final quarter in 24 and change to win his first start on the grass in 2:28 flat over a course rated good. In the race following the turf, Sunday Silence, whom Prized defeated in the Swap Stakes, captured the Breeders' Cup Classic to nail down Horse of the Year honors. And earlier on the Breeders' Cup card, Steinland won the mile on the turf to earn the Eclipse Award as champion male turf horse. And it was Steinland who would be the beaten favorite in the next start for Prized. It came in the Grade 3 Arcadia handicap at Santa Anita in his first start as a 4-year-old. This time, Eddie Delahousse had Prized last of the field of 9 with 3 furlongs to run in this 1-mile turf race. But with the same tremendous closing kick he displayed in the Breeders' Cup Turf, Prized won easily by a length.
Prized as last. A quarter of a mile to go, and on the menu on the outside now, Set Sail for home. Summer Sail is second. Then it's 5 back to Happy Toss, exemplary leader. Heads a turn for home. On the menus in front. Summer Sail can find no more. Here comes Happy Toss now to get them all on the outside. Fernando Toro and Happy Toss coming in on the menu. Yes, Prized like an express train. Prized down at the rail on the menu between them and Happy Toss. Prized is going to get up. Prized has got up to win the Arcadia.
Prized ran the mile in a sharp 1:34 and 2, winning at a distance considered by some too short to suit his running style. But the Arcadia gave Prized stakes victories at a flat mile, a 1.125 miles, a 1.25 miles, and a 1.5 miles. His next start and next victory came in the Grade 1 San Luis Rey Stakes at a 1.5 miles on the turf. Trainer Charlie Whittingham, who had seen Sunday Silence defeated by Prized in the Swap Stakes, sent out Frankly Perfect as the defending champion in the San Luis Rey. Other top challengers included El Senor, the beaten favorite in the Breeders' Cup Turf won by Prized, and world record setter Hawkster, winner of the Grade 1 Oak Tree Invitational over the Santa Anita Turf Course. And it was Hawkster who showed the early speed, sprinting to a 6-length lead after 6 furlongs in 1:09 and 2. Hawkster and Pat Valenzuela still had 3.5 lengths on the field at the head of the stretch after a mile in 1:34 flat. Meanwhile, Frankly Perfect and Chris McCarron were about to challenge the leader, but Eddie Delahousse kept his composure aboard favored Prized, who was about to come flying.
And Prized is asked to run, and he starts to pick it up as well. Then Delegant, a quarter of a mile to go, and Hawkster still clear by 4 lengths. Frankly Perfect cutting into that lead now. Another 2 back to Prized and Delegant. Heads a turn for home. Pat Valenzuela goes to the whip on Hawkster. Frankly Perfect coming at him on the outside, and then Prized. Hawkster digging down deep and trying to hang on, but here comes Prized in the center of the track. Eddie Delahousse and Prized are coming to get Hawkster. Prized gets the lead with 50 yards to run, and it's going to be Prized to win the prestigious San Luis Rey Stakes.
The winning time for Prized in the San Luis Rey of 2:25 and 1 shattered by 2 1/5 seconds the previous stakes record. This race also marked the third graded stakes victory in as many tries on the turf for Prized, who was proving to be a multi-dimensional runner. And Prized added another victory to his resume as a 5-year-old. Facing a tough allowance field at Hollywood Park after a layoff, Prized was the 3-5 favorite in this mile and 1/8 turf race. This time, Delahousse kept Prized right off the lead of Chatiche, who set all the fractions, including the mile in 1:35 flat. It was a battle between those two to the wire.
At the top of the lane, Chatiche still got running him. He leads it by 2. Sadler's Congress out after him and Prized on the outside. These are the 3 with an 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Chatiche at the rail. Prized is now lengthening his stride and coming to take him on the outside. Prized is now coming at Chatiche with every stride. Prized and Chatiche, they're going to go to the wire together. Chatiche and Prized, they hit the wire. Prized wanted a nose.
Prized takes the photo by a nose. The 9th victory of his career, 6 coming in stakes, 5 of those graded stakes. Prized later placed in the Grade 1 Hollywood Turf Handicap and retired to stud with earnings over $2,262,000. As a stallion, Prized figured to sire offspring who would excel at the classic distances, not the early sprints for precocious 2-year-olds. But his runners are proving as versatile as racehorses as he was. Prized, who broke his maiden at a mile and a 16th on the dirt at Calder, ranked as one of the leading freshman sires of 1995. He sired 6 winners, including 3 stakes horses and 4 superior runners from only 30 juveniles in his first crop. His first crop included Molly Star, convincing winner of the 6-furlong, $100,000 CTBA stakes at Del Mar in her second start, after breaking her maiden going 5.5 furlongs, first time out at Hollywood Park.
But Molly Star is well on her way to victory in the CTBA stakes. Molly Star, the daughter of Prized, striding away to win it by 4.
Molly Star, one of 3 stakes horses from the first crop by Prized, who was also represented in 1995 by Raise the Prize, who placed in 2 stakes, including the California Stallion Stakes at Santa Anita, and by Jake's Surprise, who placed in the $100,000 Graduation Stakes at Del Mar. 4 of the 6 winners from Prized's first crop won their first starts at Hollywood Park at 5, 5.5, and 6 furlongs. A 5th winner broke her maiden in her first start at Calder, going 7 furlongs. And the 6th winner broke her maiden in her 3rd outing, going 5.5 furlongs at Del Mar, after running 2nd by a head in her debut at Hollywood. The early success of his juveniles, coupled with his outstanding race record and his stallion's pedigree, were the reasons Prized was relocated to stud in Kentucky by Needham Betts Thoroughbreds and Bruce Klein's Dixiana Farm. Prized is by Chris S. from the highly successful Roberto sire line, which is responsible for many of the leading sires in North America, Japan, and Europe. Prized is one of 3 Breeders' Cup winners sired by Chris S., whose success at stud prompted his move from Florida to the Bluegrass, where he now stands for a fee of $50,000. Prized is a full or half-brother to 4 stakes horses, including 3 stakes winners and 3 graded stakes placed runners, including Mashikani Allegro, a group stakes winner in Japan. Prized Dam, My Turbulent Miss, is a half-sister to 3 stakes horses. Prized represents a complete outcross for mares by Raise a Native, Mr. Prospector, Northern Dancer, and Blushing Groom. A grandson of Sire of Sires Roberto, Prized defeated Horse of the Year and leading Japanese stallion Sunday Silence, and won the Molson Million at the classic distance of 1.25 miles on the dirt. Captured the Breeders' Cup Turf, his first start on the grass. Won turf stakes from 1 mile to 1.5 miles and earned over $2 million.